I think it was a negative showing the cell phone so much. I agree. They showed the cell phones more than the actual controller, which makes no sense. So Tommy says, it's your opinion, but I find this comment a little strange. I'd like to learn more. What does he find strange about the comments? Like, people would expect that you show your controllers more than the phones. We should 2 tabletop games with the mobile controller. We should, I think he means showed. 2 tabletop games with the mobile controller, because those are exactly the type of games they showed Cornhole with the mobile phone too. So why would you do that? So different strokes for different folks, blah, blah, blah. But you say so much, so 2 or 3 games is too much. Now he's attacking that guy. In the 20 or so that we featured, it's a pretty big feature of the Amigo to regards to our blah, blah, blah. I disagree with Tommy. I'm not going to go and break down the footage, but they showed Farkle, they showed the card game, whatever that's called, and they showed Cornhole all being played with the mobile controller. And I'm pretty sure they showed a few more games. So I don't know why well, I know why he's saying this, because he's a dick, but especially the Farkle clip, which could have been done with the Amico controller, was not the best representation of the feature. Slow roll in the dice. Agreed. I've heard a couple of folks talk about lag from the dice. Hey, what about my video, Tommy? Come on. Didn't you see the part where I showed that you split 2 clips into one? And that most likely that the cell phone footage was added in afterwards. So either way, even if I was somehow wrong, which I don't think I was, there was lag. So he says, I can understand why people feel that way, especially if they're looking for things to critique. So then he's being a dick again to this guy. But the reality is the delay from the controller to the screen is programmed that way for a reason. You wanted it to feel like the dice are traveling from your controller to the TV screen. And when we had showed it up instantly, it felt a little different and not as cool. That sounds like a load of BS. Because I play Clubhouse games on the Switch. And they have dice games, they have card games and other stuff. And it's instant. As soon as you hit a button, it shows right on the screen right away. So Tommy is saying that they know better than Nintendo. That's exactly what he's saying here. Now, I know certain people are going to say I'm lying, blah, blah, blah. And frankly, okay, so anyone who ever says, now I know when some people might say this or that in all my life, as a child, growing up, adulthood, anyone who has ever said, well, I know people are going to say this, that I'm lying, blah, 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 that means they are lying. 100%. That is, every single time I've ever encountered that in my life, the person has been lying. They think everything I say is a lie anyway. Well, the reason why we think it's a lie, because you do lie. And action speaks louder than words there. And he never has any actions, all talk. And his talk is all lies, so that is why. It's funny how some folks always demand answers. No, we just want to actually have some proof, because you talk a lot, and a simple video clip of you booting up the system, loading a game, say Farkle for example here, and showing it working with the Amico controller is a very easy thing to do. But instead of doing little videos like that, you spend 7 hours eating dinner at some weirdo's house and spend hours trolling on board. So that is, actions speak louder than words. They don't want me to answer their questions with the truth. No, we want action. We don't believe you. That's why. Something that fits their narrative. Nope. When I slow down a clip of you doing your Farkle dice thing, and it shows that there's 2 clips split into one, and your hand, or whoever's hand, goes off screen, and then a new clip is loaded showing dice coming onto the screen. Yes, that's why we question this. In regards to Farkle, that is blah, blah, blah. So he's saying that they purposely make the lag for the roll of the dice. That makes no sense. Why would you do that? Especially with old people. I'm not sure if this other people have noticed or had the same experiences as myself, but I notice a lot of old people have very short patience with, limited patience with electronics or anything. My parents still triple click on the internet because it's not an instantaneous, it doesn't show up instantaneous. Or also when they have the remote control, they're constantly, just for the TV, mashing the button. So yeah, that makes no sense. I can see the old people just shaking violently, trying to get those damn dice out. So he says, the entire video was mostly old footage. I found this to be a strange move. Once again, incorrect statement. Certain footage was repeated, and he uses the excuse that they didn't have footage cleared. and we only had a few weeks to put the entire thing together. That's such terrible excuses. It's impossible given the time, everything else the company is working hard for. And yes, games like Breakout, Night Soccer, Cloudy Mountain show similar footage. That's because those games look. That's what those games look like. Zero reason for us to spend time playing Breakout and capturing new footage. So basically, he's saying that it's an incorrect statement, but then follows it up by saying, "Yes, we used old footage," and gave 2 reasons why they used old footage. So good job, Tommy. Way to not prove your point. And his excuse of not having time is a bullshit. They have a dedicated video guy, even if he's not good at his job. It's not in old E3 days when gaming sites would go on the floor and they would capture footage either by video camera or else straight to the systems. They would have those clips uploaded within hours, and there's no reason at all why they couldn't have spent one night loading just small clips, 20-30 second clips of their games, just showing them being slightly different, using a capture card and then putting them together. That's the fact that they say they don't have time. That's an excuse. That is not a valid answer. So basically they're lazy. Is what he's saying. We're too lazy to get new footage, for the biggest presentation we're ever going to have. We didn't have the time to do that. Like, come on. But he didn't have time for that, but he has time for 7-hour visits with some random stranger. He just does this to himself. It's just embarrassing. So there you go. So mainstream media, talking heads repeating what they're obscuring or hiding the Amico controller in the videos, which is true. Essentially saying that it doesn't work. It's not only inaccurate and of course negative. It's very weird. No, it's very accurate. Watch that cornhole video. It shows the camera pounding behind her. She's not even using the Amico controller. You can't see the screen. You can't see her hand doing the motion. You just see behind her, which does absolutely nothing. So Tommy responds with, "Yeah, that false narrative that we've never shown our controller working is telling us to what the objective really is for some of these folks. No, you just have not shown the controller working at all. There's no false narrative. It's the truth. A false narrative, they don't show it working." So we'll see what he says here. I've seen tons of folks in YouTube comments and Twitter about what a scam we are because we're potentially, yeah, well, this is true. 3 or 4 months out, we've never shown the controller working. Really? Then explain why this sorcery was from March 2020, almost a year and a half ago. Okay. What about the motion controls of the cornhole? Why can't you show that? Oh, my God. He's doubling down on being dumb. This is just hilarious. So they have one demo, and that shows that everything's working. Why doesn't he show the Finnegan Fox video where he's running backwards or the controller's inverted? Fortunately, there's a lot of bad actors out there trying to spread as much false information as possible in hopes to destroy a company and product they admit, blah, blah, blah. Drama and views. Bad actors. I would say the bad actors are people like Cyrus pretending to be all emotional and Tommy trying to pretend that he knows what he's talking about. Those are the only bad actors I've seen so far. False narrative. But hey, at least people are finding about us and talking about it. Yeah. But mainstream media, this is what you wanted. You wanted Digital Foundry to rip you apart and call you a joke, and everyone else making fun of you, and that's good.